All right. All right, all right. Wish this picture was bigger. It would make it a bit better if I was singing in the background and there was just something else where you couldn't see the background. That would be sweet. I said that would be sweet, 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 sweet. Bringing in an old classic intro. An old classic intro. While I share the crap out of the show. Sharing the show so everybody knows that I'm live today. That I'm live today. Live, we're live, living live today. Hello, everybody. It's me, your host, one of your hosts of North Sports Dynasty. I'm Andrew Fulber. Alex Loosemore is a little sick. We've been doing like double, triple, quadruple shifts, and he woke up this morning and he said he quit. Thanks, Alex. No, I'm just kidding. Alex didn't quit. I wouldn't let him quit that easy. Alex is just not feeling good today, so you are stuck with me. We're going to have a little bit of fantasy football talk with me. The original host of North Sports Dynasty with one of the original intros. I'm going to get Alex. We're going to start doing that since I don't have any music. I'm going to get music eventually. But hello, everybody. Welcome to a Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's right in the middle. Spank dabbed right in the middle of the hour. I got people still in morning time. I got people in afternoon time, and I got people in the evening time. It's a great time to have the show, if you ask me. So that, you know what that means? You got to like, you got to share, you got to follow the show, because today we're giving you some week 5 updates on the fantasy football world. We're also going to be talking about our upcoming shows that are coming next week. That's right. Some big time shows are coming next week. I cannot wait. Where we're going to have the NHL NBA show finally kicked off. That'll be going on directly after this show on a Saturday on the North Sports Dynasty platform and possibly Bucks Report. We will see what happens on the Bucks Report platform. Also, remember, I am the host of Live from the Cheap Seats, and tomorrow night, tomorrow night we got one hell of an episode. It's been a while since I've been in my actual platform, and I actually got to hang out with everybody on Bucks Report and all my Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. So tomorrow night, stay tuned. That's going to be fun. As for today, we got our top 5 starts and sits and slumps actually written on the board here. So if you can see them, they're right there. Next time, I'll make sure that it's a little bit better for you. We're going to be talking about the top 5 starts and sits and slumps today. Also going to be taking your questions from around the platforms. And I'm also going to be dropping the StreamYard link in the chat here real soon, because, you know, I don't like talking to myself necessarily. So we'll see if there's anybody out there who wants to get their questions out. I got to relax the throat, because if I'm going to do my show tomorrow, man, you guys better be ready for the meme grinder tomorrow. It might be a 3-hour episode. I might just go late with it. I don't give a damn. Give a shit. You know how I do it. Like, share, follow the show. Remember to like Alex and go follow him on Twitter at Alex. No, it's at Loosemore65. There we go. He will be back next week, I promise you. Might even be on tomorrow night. Who knows? He might pop in tomorrow night and stuff. We'll see what happens and stuff. I know people want to make shirts of all these little things that I say all the time. Please do. My mind is just like doing little fillers here. So, how's everybody's fantasy football been doing? How's it going? I'm not doing so great. It is a really tough year. I'm not going to lie. The players that I said I wanted to take, and I said that you should take, have all become a little bit problematic to certain degrees. Now, some of these players are top 5 in the league, which unexpectedly it happened. Where the fuck did Cooper Kupp come from? Well, I mean, not where he came from, but who the hell knew that him and Stafford would just be like Montana and Rice at this point? His fantasy value is absolutely insane. If I am not mistaken, I believe he is still wide receiver number 1. The value of getting him in like the 6th and 7th round, that's insane. Absolutely insane. So some of the questions that we got, I know already before this was a couple of the Tampa Bay Miami game. So a lot of fans of Tampa Bay, surprisingly in fantasy football, have a lot of players from Miami. It's like, hey, I got a few players from Miami. I've always trusted in Devontae Parker. Personally, that's just me. So I got people saying, what about, like Myles Gaskin? Last week, he got 0.3 points. And if you had seen on the spread, or at the spread, new show with me and Rick Hughes on Wednesdays, where we're talking some betting lines. And next week, I'm going to be on a few other shows, different platforms as well, checking out different things. I got people who invited me on different stuff, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll pop on. We're going to be talking on different other platforms as well. So stay tuned next weekend. I'm basically off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I said, screw it. Let's do it. It's going to be great. Thursday night, I will probably pop on after I am done work, and we'll talk about the Buccaneers and Eagles game. But today, we're talking some fantasy football. Now, this is the Myles Gaskin thing. Let's just get this right off the bat. Don't play him. Boom. My number 1 sit. Don't play Myles Gaskin. If you're in a PPR league, some people may throw in, if you got no other running backs, to throw him into the flex position because you get the points for the reset. You might have something there. I'll give you that. But he's not going to catch a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett already looks like the 2 targets that he wants to throw to is Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki. So if you're in a PPR league, technically anything can go. Any running back can come in and catch 5 passes a game and all of a sudden, go for 40 yards. He's got 9 points. And everybody thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. In some aspects, well, let's say in Dynasty, you might be right and you might be wrong. In Dynasty, if we're talking about someone like, say, J.D. McKissick, let's say we're talking about, anything like that, it makes sense to just hold off. Myles Gaskin might catch the ball 6 or 7 times, but he's probably going to go backwards for a couple of them. And the other ones aren't going to be that great of advancements. This is just me personally. I'm not saying this as a homer. I'm saying this as a person thinking logically. If this was Tua and a whole healthy squad of the Dolphins, we might be talking a different story. But even then, last week he had 0.3 points. My point was, going on Against the Spread show, we had a guest on, and even he was talking about the problems of playing Myles Gaskin and how he's got a few Miami players and he's not going to do that again. Totally agree. Myles Gaskin still holds value in Dynasty, though. All running backs do. Every single one of them. That's why in certain leagues, I've just basically taken as many running backs as I possibly could and just stabled them. Other leagues, you can get away with just having 3 or 4. In the North Sports Dynasty League, I've screwed myself because a lot of them got injured. And basically what Alex spoke to came into existence. So you can thank my co-host. Now I'm probably going to lose this year. And same with him, Mr. First Overall Pick. Still love you, though. Myles Gaskin is not going to be an easy play this week. I wouldn't even start any of those Miami players personally. I also got Jalen Waddle on this list. He's going to be the number 1 target. And if Jamel Dean and Richard Sherman are healthy, he might hold some flex value if you have to throw him in. But other than that, I do not see him going off. He might catch a touchdown because he might be the only damn target out there. But I'm also thinking that those touchdowns are probably going to go to Gesicki. Or Brissett will get close enough and he'll just run it in himself. Seems to be the game plan against the Bucs. So if you're looking at Dolphin players this weekend, if you have them on your team, because a lot of people do. A lot of people do. It's inevitable. They're there. It's value. It's teams. Every team's got value somewhere. Even the Jets. Sorry, Jacob. But But hold on this week. Buccaneers still have one of the best run defenses in the league, if not the best run defense in the league. So we all just need to slow down on the Miami train. Don't play Myles Gaskins and don't play Jalen Waddle. Let's get to some of these comments here quick. Eric Marino, what's up? He says, what's up, Andrew? Eric, what's up, buddy? How you doing today? Johnny Dean says, sure. Satino A. Mill Howell. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. He's a new guy. Do you think we're going to be 7-1 by bye week? See, no. We already got the one loss. I know we got the Eagles, and the Eagles may not necessarily pull up the word or what do you think? Sorry, what was I saying? The Buccaneers may not win that one as easily as you think. A banged up defense that we have right now with teams that are built, say, offensively heavy might be a bit of an issue. Eagles might put up some points on this. So just thinking. You go late? What? I go late? What did I do? Great. Had to turn around last week. Oh, I see. His mother. Yes, that's true. Go Bucks with the Flames. Christopher Cole says, hey guys. Hello, Christopher Cole. Tapasio says, Canada is better than the U.S., especially Montreal. Brady is the greatest still. Hey, this is just me. You're gonna get my American customers and friends all upset now. But I do tend to agree. I think Canada is better than the States, but there's a lot of things that the States does and have that are better than Canada. That is for damn sure. And Johnny says the Jets suck. Yeah, the damn right says the Jets suck. Speaking of the Jets, a friendly reminder to everybody. Tonight. It's one of those things where, depending where you live, you can't just wake up and go set your lineup. Okay? If you're taking a late morning piss, sure. You're waking up at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you are, and you got to go take a piss. That's when you could probably set your lineup because of the Jets and Falcons. Jets and Falcons are playing in London. Means the game is going to be early on. Very, very early game here. So if you are playing any of the players from Atlanta and the Jets, make sure that you understand that this is a London game. You're not going to get a chance to just very easily go and switch your roster unless you are in the right time zone, unless you are, awake. So say there's a late change because of injury or anything like that happens. It's going to be a bit of an issue. So there is that. What is it? Have you shipped my book? No, Christopher Cole. I actually still have it right here. I got to ship out a couple of things. I was going to do that very soon here. A little trouble with some money here in Canada for sending. I know it's only a little bit, right? But don't have too much. So, but it is coming here very, very soon. It's definitely getting to you before, what are we at, October 10th? I would say probably, depending on how shipping would get, it should get to you either just around Christmas or just after Christmas. Whoa, Halloween. There we go. Just around Halloween or just after Halloween. But thank you for the reminder. I do have to get these things off. I keep forgetting that every single time. So yeah, we're friendly reminder to the Jets and Falcon players in fantasy, to the owners in fantasy. Make sure to switch your league or to set friendly reminders that you got to wake up early just to take a quick look and see what the heck is going on. Make sure nobody got injured. Make sure nobody didn't board a plane. Any late minute things happening. Just be chill. We'll get you there. Now, speaking of getting you there, some of these games this weekend, some pretty good matchups, if you really think about it. And also right now, a lot of question marks. Joe Mixon playing? Is CMC playing? What about some of these other players like Dalvin Cook? Joe Mixon is gone to questionable, which I'm still hoping for. Still hoping he is going to play. I don't necessarily think he is going to. So if you have him in a league, put him in the flex position, wait till Sunday morning, maybe address it after that. It's not going to be the greatest thing. I understand that. But it's also, I mean, if you need the running back help, you need to put him in the flex position and just wait because you don't want to miss the opportunity of at least replacing him. I know Cortland Sutton is another question mark. There's a lot of question marks right now with these with some of these players and some of these teams. The issues right now that people have in fantasy is, do I switch the players too soon? Like, if you're me last week, a big idiot, and I'm actually going to pull this up here really quick. Last week, I was a bit of an idiot. I decided to go and bench, if I can just move everything the right way so I can get to the league here, and I can go back a week. I made a couple of trades. I got David Montgomery basically off in Dynasty. Remember, this is Dynasty. Got David Montgomery away, and I got Javonte Williams and Trey Sermon with a couple other things around the side. I eventually got Noah Fant because my tight end position was just absolute wreck. Though I traded Dalton Schultz just a little bit too soon. This all being said, on my bench was still Khalif Raymond, Darnell Mooney, Kadarius Toney, Randall Cobb, Zach Ertz. All of those, had I actually played them, would have won, but I didn't. But the problem is this. In Dynasty, you don't know what's going to happen sometimes. So for me, I don't have my first overall pick in Dynasty. So I'm basically like, I'm now playing to win as best as I can so that somebody else doesn't get the first overall pick. I have to try and get my own first overall pick back, or a first round pick. That's the way it is. Now, try not to make the same mistake that I have. Think of the matchups here. Some players being questionable scares people. Doubtful, game time decision, all these things really scare fantasy owners. And as a person who is not doing that great this season because I have made those mistakes, keep your players in until Sunday. Set a timer, whatever you got to do just before all the games start. Go in and check every single one of your leagues. Make sure that some of the players are playing. This is also why I've stated before, if you're a Dynasty owner like me, when you start getting addicted to Dynasty or keeper leagues or anything like that, which eventually I know people will want to have a keeper league or anything else, and where I'm going to get a few of those leagues going. The next big one is the Dynasty League, though, because I got people begging at the chops. They're like, oh, man, like we could do this big, cool draft in February. It's going to be awesome. I agree. Definitely agree. This, though, okay, this. When it comes to Dynasty, there's problems with matchups because you don't want to drop certain players because there's the opportunity. Whereas in redraft, you can drop and pick up and drop and pick up and blah, 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 blah. For example, say the CMC and Chuba Hubbard. If he's not playing this week, I can drop Chuba Hubbard, get him off my roster if I really wanted to, and because CMC is more than likely going to be healthy and he's just going to pull up a roster spot. Unless you know that he's still going to be questionable. Can't do that in Dynasty. You drop Chuba Hubbard, all of a sudden I'm going to spend $100 on my fab or $50 in the one league, and I'm getting Chuba. And a few other people would do that too. It'd be a damn coin flip at this point. There's a difference. So in Dynasty, with some of these question marks, take me for example. I have Dalvin Cook. I haven't put him on the trade bait there, and I almost actually traded him. And I'm kind of happy that I did it. But if I go to this North Sports Dynasty League where I'm in here, I have him right now, and Jonathan Taylor is my starting two. Dalvin Cook is questionable. For me, I have injuries to Cam Akers, and I have the only other running back on my team right now. Yes, only other running back, Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell is that running back that I was talking about earlier, like a J.D. McKissick. CMC, the reason why he is so good is the PPR leagues, which this is. When he catches a reception, he gets a point. So Kenneth Gainwell last week got you a 20-burger. A 20-burger from a bench player is absolutely awesome. But you obviously want that on your team. So when you got all these different question marks, CMC, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, hell, when Nick Chubb was injured or banged up, Darrell Henderson, you have to leave spots on your bench for opportunity players, especially in Dynasty. And this is what I'm getting at here. Let me get out. Into the next segment. Oh, it worked. That's kind of cool. In Dynasty, you only are allowed so many bench spots. I believe in ours, we have 13 or 15, say in the North Sports Dynasty one. Some of those bench spots are for, your normal players that you want to keep, young guys, quarterbacks, some running backs, obviously. I'm going to tell you this right now. Dynasty is obviously harder to grab. You're not going to grab Chuba Hubbard right off the waiver wire unless it's week 1, 2, and 3. Right now, going into week 4, 5, and 6, the pickings are usually a little bit slimmer because you got players like me and a few others that we have in the North Sports Dynasty who do this all the time, where you have certain bench spots that are necessarily open. I drop and add players as we go all season. Use that opportunity. For example, I have both of the wide receivers from Tennessee that are not named A.J. Brown or Julio Jones. These are roster spots. These players can be dropped at any point in time. Obviously, if someone sends a trade offer for them, more than likely to accept a 4th or 3rd rounder 2 years from now, why not? But these running backs make it more difficult, especially the Joe Mixon, especially the CMC, especially the Dalvin Cook. And everybody knows what the handcuff is. Handcuff is when you're supposed to go and grab the backup to the main starting running back that you have. Not everybody has this ability in Dynasty. In Dynasty, after certain rounds are done, when you're startup, if you have everything you need, the next thing you start grabbing is those running backs. And in order to make sure that certain other players don't do very good, or they got to go and pick these players a little bit higher in a draft so that other players can fall to you later on, that's kind of what you get. It's a bit of a dick move, understandably, but if it's a league where you do this, say, for money, right? Or punishment leagues, which are very popular as well. You don't obviously want to lose. Every little advantage is going to help you. So if you're one of those players, there's many different type of players, but there's 2 different type of Dynasty players that you'll see this year. The guys who at the end of the year will not drop a single player. They won't accept any trade offers. They do the draft, and then they leave their damn team alone until the season starts. And then they make maybe like 1, maybe 2 trades, but you'll see like a bunch of drops and waiver pickups one random day. Then you got players like me. It's just every single day is Dynasty. Why not? Every single day I can acquire a new player because something, Adam Schefter is saying something. So all of a sudden this running back's value isn't as good as it was before. The classic Myles Gaskin and James Robinson of last year, which I'm not going to lie, I've kind of screwed up on the James Robinson train, but that's only because Travis Etienne went down. So you get another year of value, and I didn't get enough value for him. Oh, fucking well. You need to keep bench spots. I got a lot of wide receivers on my bench spot right now. And a lot of them right now are not getting dropped. Okay? Like Tyler Johnson from the Buccaneers is not getting dropped. I traded for him a couple of weeks ago, basically a 3rd round pick of like 2 or 3 years from now. And that's it. That's it. What? I got him. Now he's locked on my team for a year or 2 from now when he actually gets the opportunity. I have him. You just have to declare certain bench spots. You can take this, okay? Follow me for a moment here. Use right here. You got 15 bench spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 bench spots right there. In Dynasty, the one thing that you want to make sure is you have rookies for your future. So let's say you did your startup rookie draft, or your startup draft, and then you're doing the rookies later on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these spots, and this depending on the player that you are. These 5 spots right here need to stay open for the actual season. For when injuries inevitably happen, for when a trade happens, like the Dan Arnold trade, where all of a sudden he goes to an opportunity where a tight end is going to see more work. Just certain opportunities like that. It always happens. Your own little redraft bench spots need to go there. You need to keep, in my honest opinion, 4 spots for general backup running backs. You need to keep 4 spots for your general wide receiver, and you need to keep at least 2 for your general tight ends. That's the way that you're supposed to break your dynasty rosters down, depending on how you play. But that makes sure that you have opportunity here, opportunity here, opportunity here, and major opportunity for years to come right here. You're playing a mini game within the dynasty. So these handcuffs, you need to make sure, for running backs especially, 2. If you have a major player like a Dalvin Cook, a Jonathan Taylor even. Actually, no, we'll take Jonathan Taylor out of this. But let's say a Dalvin Cook, a Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb, the other running back that I was saying there earlier. If you have any of these players, grabbing the Alexander Mattison, the Tony Pollard, the Kareem Hunt, I can't remember the other one I said there. You need those guys. So for me, when I look at my team right now, I don't have Alexander Mattison. I'm trying to trade for Alexander Mattison. Problem is, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come cheap. But you need to make sure that you do that at some point in time in some part of your draft. Whether it's the startup of it, go a round or 2 early. Just go grab them. And you'll thank yourself later that you did. So what? You won't get your Trevor Lawrence in the 6th round. You won't get the final tight end that's dropped out of the tier. Oh well. It happens. But you need to save yourself. You just need to save yourself. You need to just take a look at the opportunity that would be out there. Okay? Oh, excuse me. I'm going to check the comments here. I saw it pop off. Doubtful Friday, questionable Saturday, active Sunday. Active can you mean bench or field? But that's the order. So take your chance. Exactly. Sony Michelle, ex-Pat. Hey, Sony Michelle. Listen, Sony Michelle, when he was with the Patriots, people didn't like him because he would just sit there and just carry the ball. And if you're in a league where it goes by carries, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that because you can just too much points across the board. But if you're in a league where you had Sony Michelle and he's only getting you, say, 6 to 8 points because he's getting you only 60 to 80 yards on 21 carries, yeah, it's a bit irritating. Put him all of a sudden in an opportunity that he gets with the Rams. Even when Darrell Henderson goes down, he took it. So yeah, I was one of the people who was like, I don't know about that, maybe, but and I got proven wrong. And this is one of the reasons why I've been losing every single week by like less than 5 points. Which on average, listen to this. I went and actually looked at an average out there on podcasts that do statistics, like hard in statistics. Okay. They have done Dynasty and said that there has been a dude in one of their dynasties for the last 8 or 9 years. Okay. And he has finished in the top 4 every single year. And every single year, statistically, he should have won. But he lost in an important game by less than 3 points. Every single time. Every single time. So then they calculated what it, percentage. It's one of the you should have won had it been, a quick decision of this, right? I'm in that fucking category now. And that ain't fun. It's not. I'm hitting my damn mic. It's not fun. I don't like it. I hate every fucking moment of it. I have lost by 0.6. I have lost by 0.1. I have lost by 0.5, by 0.8, by 0.8, by 0.3, by 1 point, by 8 points, by 5 points, and another point something this year. And I still have a chance at playoffs, but I got to I got to sacrifice some shit for opportunities here in Dynasty. In certain other leagues, it's just the way it is, And so That's why you got to make sure. You got to always make sure. Keep handicaps with you. It may look ugly on your bench, but it doesn't matter. Always try to have your handicaps. And handcuffs are not handicaps. I would have given you Madison for free. See, and in Dynasty, though, if I'm trying to trade for him like right now, for example, I'll go to this. I'm going to see who has Madison right now. Okay, so the Levi has Madison's. He is very low on the running backs. But if I gave him the opportunity, say, on Khalil Herbert, then sure. But no, I'm going to give him... oh, he's got way too many... Well, he doesn't have too many good wide receivers. Tell you what, buddy. I'm going to offer him Laviska Shenault and Khalil Herbert. Boom. We'll see how he appreciates that offer. So what I've just done is I'm trying to grab him right now. In Dynasty, I have just offered him Khalil Herbert, which is the running back that should get some opportunities in Chicago here now, and Laviska Shenault, which I don't want to. But I get Alexander Madison and Tony Pollard. And if he accepts that, then I'm more than likely at some point I am going to try and grab Ezekiel Elliott. So if Levi, if you're watching, I sent you an offer. And accept it so I can have my damn handcuff. But SM can't run against the Bucks. Sony Michel? No, he can't. But he did get a touchdown, I believe it was. No, that was last game. Sorry, he got a touchdown. It is about those matchups too. Nobody wants to play running backs against the Buccaneers. The only running back that anybody ever feels comfortable against playing the running against the Buccaneers, and I'm actually going to put this, I'm going to drop for anybody watching right now. What is the one running back, right? Whether it's fantasy or fantasy, but dynasty, redraft, or anything like that, full PPR, so points per reception, was the one running back that you can trust, usually going up against the Bucs defense the last 3 or 4 years. Drop it down in the comment section right now. I want to see if anybody actually knows the answer to this. And I'll get to that answer here in a second because there's a good transition into the player that I wanted to talk about here. And then I'm going to get into the top 5 starts, sets, and slumps, which is all right here. Drop down in the comment section the one running back that you can actually trust against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense the last, say, 3 to 4 years for fantasy, dynasty, or redraft. And I know a lot of people are like, none of them because they all suck. There's one that has done better than everybody else consistently, of course, say the last 3 or 4 years. And the answer shouldn't surprise anybody, to be completely honest. Just go to the highlights. It's definitely not Barry Sanders, but like it's this day and age's version of, what happened. So, that also being said, so before I get to that answer, the Buccaneers run defense also makes it good for the actual defense itself if you have to grab a defense in your leagues, okay? That run defense helps with the points down per game, but without the forced fumbles and without the interceptions and, the touchdowns coming from that defense like it did early on last year, that defense holds no value. The defense right now, I think, is sitting at like 10th to 15th. It's good, but it's not great. You need more. So a lot of people have messaged me and said, what about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense? I've always said before, you got to play the matchups. That's why, Carolina's defense, no one gave a shit about at the beginning of this year. This was like top 5 worst for fantasy that you can pick up. And right now, it's one of the best. Same with the Arizona Cardinals. That's this year right now. Dallas Cowboys' defense is even worth some fantasy points right now. It's matchups. So drop that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and just wait. Though Miami, like this week, I would say maybe hold on. Miami. Johnny C. Dean says Derrick Henry. Though Derrick Henry has done consistently well against the Buccaneers the last couple of years, it's not the one that I was thinking. But the one I was thinking is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, there's been a couple of games where he's just that damn receptions that he keeps getting. Like 6, 7 to 8. That's 8 points right there. And one of them usually breaks off for like a 30, 40 yarder. So it's another 3 or 4 points. There's your 11 points just based off of the running back position right there. Just right there. Ridiculous. On one of the best defenses of the last 3 or 4 years. Absolutely ridiculous. And in week 8, when the Buccaneers got to play him, I ain't looking forward to it at all. I think Jameis Winston's going to absolutely utilize Alvin Kamara to the best of his abilities because he knows he's going to want to throw downfield, but he knows that if he does, he's going to get picked. Man, I want to play that Tampa Bay defense for week 8, but I'm still a little bit scared. Alvin Kamara, on the other end, if you got Alvin Kamara, I would utilize him. And I'd utilize him as fast as I can when it comes to the Buccaneers defense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. My top 5 starts and slumps. Let's get into the starts right now. Starting at number 5. Number 5, James Patterson, the running back for Washington football team. Now, check this out. Who the hell is he? Who the hell is this guy? It's the actual running back, the guy who will carry the ball when Antonio Gibson is hurt, which it looks like Antonio Gibson right now is the other running back that I was thinking of, who may not necessarily start on Sunday. So you need to make sure, if you can go get James Patterson right now, I would. J.D. McKissick is also a very great idea. Very great idea. If you can get him. I know in a few leagues, he's not available in the waiver wire necessarily anymore because of the last 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks ago, he had a really good game. So just be careful on that. But James Patterson would also be a good option. If you can get him, and Antonio Gibson, it comes with a start. If Antonio Gibson is definitely not starting, get Patterson. Make sure you start him. He may actually bring you some value. Number 4, Sam Darnold, quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Yes, I said it. Sam Darnold. I got to get the proper thing up here. Thank you very much. Where did I see you? There he is. So he's going up against the Philadelphia defense. Philadelphia's defense is a little bit banged up. And last week, this guy ran in. He ran in 2 touchdowns. And he's got a wide receiver core and running back core that is just like everything you could ever dream of a quarterback looking to rejuvenate his own career. This guy's doing a great job. Okay. He's got me scared. He's definitely got me scared. I don't want to play him anymore. Okay? I don't want to do it. I don't want to play the Panthers at the end of the year because they might actually be going for a playoff spot. That's fucking ridiculous to me. Number 3, Odeus Zdeikis. Olamide Zacchaeus. If I can say his damn name right. Here's the problem. Atlanta has nobody starting really. The 2 fantasy players that you need to pick up is Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts, because those guys are going to see targets. When those guys are covered, though, Zacchaeus is more than likely going to see most of those receptions and most of those passes come his way. So I would hop on that train. I would get him as fast as I could. Just make sure. I tried putting him in 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or last week. I think I put him in. And he didn't do that great for me. But there's more injuries. Atlanta's going up against a very bad Jets defense right now, and I mean that with all respect, Jacob. In fantasy-wise, the Jets defense is not looking that great. Zacchaeus may actually be able to get a little bit more looks than we have thought in the past. Number 2, speaking of Atlanta, Cordell Patterson. This motherfucker had 3 touchdowns last weekend, and people just had him in the flex position because it's either him or Mike Davis, and I'm just going to roll the dice. That's a great roll of the dice, man. It was a great roll of the dice. Congratulations. You have absolutely destroyed everything that I have worked for. I said he wasn't going to be value at one point. I did say that. Even in Dynasty, I was like, nah, I don't fucking need him. He's the only real weapon on that offense besides Kyle Pitts. He really is. The guy is a beast. And he's just like available in free agency every fucking year. This is so dumb. So he's my number 2. He might actually tear up this defense a little bit more than we actually thought. And number 1, a little bit of a homer pick. I know this. Mr. Cameron Brate of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Andrew, I know that you work for Bucs Report now, and kind of like it when, this show wasn't necessarily biased to just one team. Back off. Think about this. Tampa Bay is going up against Miami with one of the best cornerback crews, tangents, whatever you want to call it, in the league. Okay? You know what that means? Cameron Brate is going to be left open. He's going to be left open. He's got nobody to cover him. Byron Jones, and I just lost his name. Byron Jones and, oh my God, the other corner. He's the best in the league. Why can't I think? Somebody help me with the other corner for Miami. Their name is, I cannot remember his name. Xavier Howard. There we go. Xavier Howard. Boom. There we go. Got it. Those guys are going to cover Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And they're going to do a really good job. There's a reason why they pay like $50 or $60 million for these guys a year. Okay. Now, that also being said, it's going to leave Antonio Brown open a lot more. I get it. You know who else is going to leave open? Cameron Brate. Right down the damn center. Their middle linebacking crew is not that great either. Defensive line, if anything, Cameron Brate's going to see more opportunities. I would even go as far as betting that Cameron Brate would get 4 receptions this week. I bet it last week. I think this week he could probably get it. That has been, my 5 starts. Like I said, I'm going with Cameron Brate, man. Now the sits. You know about number 5, Jalen Waddle. I'm going to stop hitting the mic here. I'm going to break everything. Just settle down. I'm going to settle down myself. Settle down with the Miami for the week. Let them get back healthy. They're still banged up. Jacoby Brissett is a confused person in that pocket, respectively. I would be too. I just got thrown into the mix. But he's going to find a way to win here soon. He's going to do it. I can almost guarantee you. But it's not going to be against the Bucs. Okay? So I would sit Jalen Waddle. I'm sitting Miles Sanders. And I'm sitting Miles Gaskin because he's my number 1. Number 4 is Miles Sanders. Kenneth Gainwell, my boy, Memphis product, who I said was going to be the best running back out of this draft class. Don't at me. I said he was. I said it before anybody else. I got laughed at on shows for my Kenneth Gainwell talk. You understand me? Got laughed at. Who's laughing now? Last week, let me go to him because guess what? He's on my team, Big 20 Burger. Before that, he's got a 12, a 7, and a 6. Being nothing. Nothing. What is he being now? Everything. Whether they keep Jalen Hurts or not, I can tell you right now, they're probably going to let Miles Sanders walk because now they got their number 1 guy, Kenny Gainwell. So think about that for a second. I would start him. PPR leagues, give it to him. Give it to him. He's going to give you the opportunity this weekend, especially Carolina's defense is not necessarily the greatest matchup, obviously, but the matchup is the corners going to have to cover the wide receivers. Kenny gets the whole backfield, which is what made CMC be what he was and still is. So wouldn't you want Kenny Gainwell as well? Anybody out there know Miles Sanders, what did he get you? 4.7 points last week? 2.7 points last week? I can't even remember. Wasn't that much. I almost made the trade for David Montgomery for Myles Gaskin and Miles Sanders and a couple other pieces. I'm so glad I didn't make that pick. Oh my God. I love Myles Gaskins though. I really do. Because he was him and James Robinson were my sleepers. Like me getting into this whole fantasy football community is because I picked them. And a lot of people trusted me. And now I'm entrusted to do this all over again. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. I'll get there. Number 3 for my sits is Dalvin Cook. Until we know what the fuck is god darn question mark. It's really starting to screw me here, man. Last week, he got injured in the middle of the game. He comes back in the middle of the game. And I'm just like, it wasn't enough. I still lost by 3 points. Thanks, Dalvin. I understand people's injuries. I'm only getting mad at the situation. I'm not getting mad at the player. You get injured. That's fine. It's on me. Okay? But it's just... Number 2, Peyton Barber. Don't play Peyton Barber anymore. It's Josh Jacobs' time. Just sit him for a little bit. Because we don't know what that actually is going on with Josh Jacobs here. And Kenyon Drake doesn't seem to be like the greatest option either. Maybe he's just the second option. Who knows? But number 1 sit was obviously Myles Gaskin. You do not want the Gaskins here. And then my slumps. These guys who are slumps right now. I wouldn't even technically want them on my roster. This is redraft. Okay, if this is Dynasty, some of these players are staying on my roster. But in redraft, they're slumping down. You don't even need them on your roster until someone has a really good game, and then you can probably pick them up for free again because you need some of the bench spots. Number 5, Justin Fields. I traded him for him in Dynasty, and he ain't going nowhere. Issue is now this. Justin Fields has got Matt Nagy. This year, if you can trade for him in Dynasty and get him at a low price, right on. Props to you. In retrospect, though, I don't think for this year in redraft, he's going to really hold any value to you unless at the end of the year he starts picking it up. I don't think he's going to. I really don't. Number 4, Mark Ingram, the Houston running back. One of the 3 Houston running backs. 4, 5, 6. I don't even know. There's a stable of running backs. But they used them. They liked them. And now all of a sudden it seems to be going the other way. It's not good for you users who want to see Mark Ingram continue to do good. So drop him. Put him on your bench. I think they're going to start using the Phillip Lindsay train here pretty darn soon. That's just what I'm thinking. It's what other people are starting to hear too. I would just drop Mark Ingram altogether. Number 3, Chester Rogers. What the hell, man? My number 1 stardom last week gets you like 7.9 points. It was bull. Opportunity when AJ Brown and Julio Jones, you lose to the Jets. Lost to the Jets. Against that team, he's a slump right now. Just let him be. Just absolutely let him be. It's not fun. Number 2, Trey Sermon. The only reason I put Trey Sermon in here is this. Eli Mitchell. They might actually use it. They're talking about him being the starter. Okay. It's a good thing in both leagues, in 2 leagues, that I got Trey Sermon and Eli Mitchell. But for you, the owner, which one are you going to pick? Trey Sermon got the carries last week. But if Eli Mitchell comes in and they're going to split it, and he's only there for the carries, he doesn't look like he's going to be the touchdown machine, nor does he look like he's necessarily going to be the pass-catching machine. So what do we do? What happens? What is the end game here for Trey Sermon? If you're me in Dynasty, I would just lock them both on your roster for a little bit. Wait till the offseason when someone's desperate looking for some running backs, and then I would just trade them for the opportunity there. Number 1 slump is Rojo. Andrew, you're just using Tampa Bay Buccaneer players again. No. In fantasy, you look for opportunities with a high-flying offense. Kansas City's running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Buffalo's running back situation with Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. I'll even go Cleveland, we kind of already know because they run the ball. Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler. LA Rams and Darrell Henderson or Sony Michel. These teams have shown that whether it's 1 or 2 running backs, and they're the top offensive threats in the league, that in fantasy, these running backs still hold value to you and will always still hold value to you. So what's going on, Rojo? You got a touchdown the other week there, Andrew. Cool. Fournette still technically had more points. Oh, but Fournette's not going to be here forever. Well, in Dynasty, I don't think Rojo's going to be here forever either. So what do we do? What is going to happen with Rojo? To be completely honest, if he's on your team and you have him in Dynasty, I would hold on to him just to see where he goes to the next team, because I do not see him being a Tampa Bay Buccaneer past this season. That also being said, why isn't he, though? Why isn't he the top running back threat at his youthful age of 24? I think he's 24. Why? This is Tampa Bay. This is Tom Brady's offense. This is the best offense in the fucking league. We've proven that. We got all the wide receivers. We have arguably the best offensive line out there. We got the best tight ends, arguably, when they're all healthy. We got basically everybody coming back from last year, and we added more. So why the hell is Rojo not doing it? Blocking is mess subpar. He grasps the opportunity when he gets it, sure. But when he's given too much of an opportunity, he falters. What the hell? So he's my number one slump. If you got him in Dynasty, keep him on your team because I want to see what happens in that offseason. If he's on your bench right now in redraft, just drop him. Just drop him. If Fournette happens to go down, that's the only time that I would pick him up. But even with Giovanni Bernard being down, I don't see his chances going up at all. So it just seems to be a shitty situation for Rojo. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. And people will, I know a lot of people like to be like, well, Andrew, and what the heck, and blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the thing. Back in the day, I was not a Rojo fan when we drafted him. I said, listen, we had all the running backs that were available to us that we wanted are gone. So we just grabbed the last best one before it started falling down of the tier of running backs. Okay. That's not good, though. He's going to want to get paid. Not the Jameis Winston money. Definitely not. But he's going to want to get paid just like Jameis Winston did. And he thinks that with certain, other networks saying that he's the best damn running back we've ever had. Sure, I would still take Fournette over that, but that's just my opinion. I'd even still take, Doug Martin, Michael Pittman. He's not the best running back the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had, nor is he even good value. Hold him on your bench if he's in Dynasty for you. Drop him if he's in redraft, and you can thank me later. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the top 5 starts and slumps of the week. Let's get into some of these comments here. Johnny Dean's been chilling with me all day. How you doing, Johnny? Last week, Bucs defense gave me 18 points plus. If you have a D player like LVD or White, you can boost that even more. Now, true. So in the one Dynasty league that we have, with like Alex's Dynasty League, we have defensive players, and I just gone at but some people in the league haven't really grabbed that concept yet, so I've just gone in there and just scooped up a bunch, like Devin White. So, and Winfield's injured, so I just put him on the bench for now. Patterson was my sleeper from the start. He's blown up for me all season. There's a reason why in Dynasty I say, Johnny, and I know you're probably in the Dynasty League coming up, and it's going to be fun. Excuse me. When you have 3 or 4 taxi squad spots, and you can put 3 or 4 running backs from the 6th or 7th round, 5th, 4th round you see in a draft, and you just know that it goes, say, I think it's Rashad Evans from a couple of years ago. It was Derrick Henry. They had nobody, and then they drafted a running back in the 6th round. Okay, well, his value all of a sudden becomes really, really high because if something happens to Derrick Henry, he's the first one to fall in line. Not like when Philadelphia, 3 or 4 years ago, they had all 4 of those running backs and they go and draft another one. It's just well, I don't want to touch it. Right? It's also the fun game of playing with the draft picks in Dynasty before the actual draft itself, where you can laugh at things later on, where everybody said as soon as the prospects were coming out before the actual draft, before the NFL draft happened, everyone said it was probably going to go Najee Harris, number 1, and then Travis Etienne, maybe number 2, or Travis Etienne, number 1, Najee, number 2, but mostly Najee, number 1. Then it was going to be Jamar Chase 3, Kyle Pitts, I think was at 4 still. Just certain things like that. And honestly, when it came to the actual draft, but as soon as Najee fell to Pittsburgh, it was oh yeah. There's a reason why he's going to be number 1. And then Travis Etienne falling to the Jags, and because of James Robinson being there, he fell a little bit too. So These other running backs, though, when you see them get drafted, and you just watch the opportunities of where they get drafted to. Yeah, it's just like Kenny Gainwell. I know he fell, and that's why in the actual draft I got him in like the 3rd or 4th round. But people even knew. People knew, like, I'm gabbing that running back before Andrew gets the opportunity. I was wrong so far about Darnold. I think we all were. Even I was. Riding that train high on cocaine. Dan Campbell, you better watch your speed. I love cocaine. No, I'm just kidding. Xavier Howard there, yeah. Adam tuning in says, what's up, man? What's up, buddy? Thank you for tuning in today. Remember to drop a like and a share and a follow so I can give you some more updates coming. I'm going to be working on, me and Alex are working on these shows for the next upcoming weeks. Like, I got some time coming up here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next week. And I am just going to be loading so much content into the shows because I've been slacking and Alex has been kicking major ass. So I decided to do a little bit more for, basically him, but for us as well. Got tired of waiting for Trey Sermon. I think every single one of us has as well, Johnny. Fournette and Rojo were drafted the same year, so the age factor is a moot point for Lenny. I forgot that it was that draft that they were drafted the same one. And that's the thing there. And I see your last comment there too, Johnny. Thank you very much. It's because I back up sometimes and then see. It's still off, but whatever. Fournette was drafted at like number 3 or 2 or whatever it was. And to be completely honest, I thought he was going to be the best running back for a long time. I want to see if I can fix this, Johnny. I just go slow. There we go. I thought he was going to be the best for a while. I thought he was actually going to retire a Jaguar. But that damn turf toe that he got in Jacksonville ended up being our gain at the end of the day. So I'm just so happy. I still think he's probably one of the top 5 best running backs we've ever had, and that's a short thing to say because we haven't had that many damn running backs. So it is what it is. He was till they changed schemes on him. Also, that too. Yeah, they didn't make him the bell cow, and they were like, "We're gonna make you a passing back." He's like, I mean, I guess I can do that once or twice. No, 7 or 8 times a game. He's like, oh, no, stop. I can't do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been me talking for basically an hour. I work in 3 hours where I basically got to go talk for another 6 hours and go sell herbal essences to the grand general public of the people. So, and then tomorrow night, I'm going to be back on here talking with all of y'all, giving you some updates on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins game. And then we'll also be doing a quick preview of the Thursday night game of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. And also one of the biggest, baddest mother blanking goulashes you have ever seen in your entire life. I cannot wait. So make sure you're tuning in to the Cheap Seats tomorrow night. It is going to be hilarious. I have left the bank closed until now. It's all good. And it's going to be big and grand. I can't wait. I cannot wait, honestly, until tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. When you do a little bit of work into something, and you're like proud of it, just like this platform. I am so proud of me and Alex and all of our fans and everything that they have brought to this platform. It's the same thing with Live from the Cheap Seats, man. I'm proud of everything that we've done there. I'm proud of the NFL edition that Alex and Johnny have started. I'm proud of Bucks Report for having us. I'm proud that North Sports Dynasty is growing, man. North Sports Dynasty is growing. We've got so many shows basically going up on our platform as well. We have joined Bucks Report, so I obviously take my shows and Alex's shows and throw it on that platform. So you can go to North Sports Dynasty on YouTube, our Facebook page, check on all the shows that we've done. We got content on almost every single day. We're trying to do the Tuesday shows, but me and Alex we're busy. It doesn't necessarily fall right into place on our lap. So we were basically doing our updates for the week today. We'll figure it out going forward. Obviously, you can see me on Wednesdays at The Spread with me and Rick Hughes. Then you can tune in with Alex and Johnny on Thursdays for the NFL edition. Fridays, they do an pop-up show, apparently. I was way too busy last night to even see what the hell was going on for that kind of madness. Saturdays is obviously the North Sports Dynasty platform where we do our big show. And as of next week, right after the hour, which just hit right here, or hour and a half, however long the NFL edition of the show goes next week, we will be doing the NHL NBA edition where we're just talking the brand new seasons of the other major leagues coming up. And we'll give you guys all the information about that. We'll talk the Red Wings. We'll talk your Lightning. Talk the Oilers. We're talking Kraken. And then in basketball, we're talking the whole entire league. But of course, we're talking Thunder and Wolves and Raptors and all the favorite teams that you guys love. You drop us your team. We talk about your team. That's what we do. That also being said, when you do that, it gives us the opportunity to actually invest some time into the teams that you like, which gives us more availability to the statistics, to seeing what is actually happening, to give a better idea of what your team should do. This is what me and Alex and everybody else here at North Sports Dynasty and at Box Report is going to give you. We're going to give you guys what you want. And here at North Sports Dynasty, when it comes to the hockey and the NBA, and obviously the off-season shenanigans, that's what North Sports Dynasty is going to give you. And me and Alex are going to be here for another year right after this. So make sure that you tune in. And when it comes to your fantasy football tricks and plays and fantasy, whatever, injury reports, trade values, trade targets, free agency waiver wires, you can tune in to us. And right now it's just me, but us, North Sports Dynasty, which is Alex Loosemore and I, Andrew Fulbert, where we talk all the sports and all the content that you're going to want going into the future. I'm going to help you guys win some of these leagues. And I promise you, I'm going to get better. Next week, I'm coming in hot. So you better be ready. And Alex, feel better, my brother. As Johnny said, great show, Andrew. Sorry I broke Alex last night. It's all good. It's all good. He'll be fine. He just needs lemon juice to be squirted down his throat. Gargle it. It'll kill all the bacteriums. So thank you all again. I'm going to pop out of here the same way I've done as always. When I put on this thing, I put on the picture, and then people think I'm gone. Or at least I think I'm gone. And people cannot hear me. But they can hear me. But I don't think they can hear me. Haha. I wouldn't want them to hear me anyway. That'd be weird. I wouldn't. No. It's fucking weird. I'm trying to end the show. I can't end the show because the people cannot hear me. It's like a little background drop where I put on the North Sports Dynasty with Foobs and Stretch and all the logos and shit. I like this law. I like doing this little shit at the end. It's classic. So it is what it is. Okay, everybody, take care.